Welcome back to another episode of Oscar Clark Podcast. I'm your host, Mark Bros, and today we have yet another interview for you all. But before we get into that, make sure to go follow me on X, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the socials, because I am doing a 100-day content challenge that you all should be following because it is one heck of a journey so far. We are over 60 days. We're nearing the end. So guys, make sure to go ahead and follow my journey and go ahead and drop a follow on all my socials. And with that being said, guys, we have a special interview for you all. In high school in 2022, she was named Offensive Player of the Year while also winning the New York City Championship. In 2023, she was named MVP and also awarded the PSAL Wingate Award, which is awarded to some of the top seniors in each sport in the New York City region. Also, she ended up taking her talents down to Florida, where she would play at Warner University, making a quick name for herself, becoming the 2025 Sun Conference Offensive Player of the Year. So with that being said, who we have on our show today is none other than the Royals' very own Jessica Finley. So with that being said, guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy this interview. Let's go.
Off the clock, never needed no wristwatch. Toast up, cheers to life, but this ain't no pit stop. Ayy, my words don't get you to the top. Speak life into the mic like Mike at 90, pass me the rock. My words will touch thousands on the block, without a doubt, but here's a reassurance on me, we lie. Ayy, off the clock, baby, but we tuned in, dialed in. Feel like Cat, how we always winning, man. It's up.
Jessica Finley, thank you so much for joining the show. Thank you for so much taking the time to join me on this podcast. First flag football athlete that I will have on my show, so I appreciate you taking the time to join.
Of course, thank you for having me.
So, really, the first thing that I wanted to talk about that caught my eye is how long you have been posting on your Instagram. You have two different Instagrams, from what I noticed. And your flag football Instagram, you've been posting on there since 2020.
Mhm.
And so is that whenever you first started playing flag football, or was that whenever y'all finally decided, hey, let's put out some clips on here and do more with the social media?
I started playing in, I think it was like 2018. Yeah, it was 2018 we started. And then once it started getting a little bit of exposure at the college level, my coach for my travel team on SIG said that we should start making Instagram accounts to just show the coaches like what we could do because flag wasn't really like noticed. So that's how we did it. We all made like sports Instagrams for flag and just uploaded everything there.
And so how useful have you found that over your time? Because like I said, you've been posting on there for a while now. And so how useful do you find putting stuff like that out on social media?
Honestly, it was like everything at the time because all the college coaches and just like other teams to just reach out to see if I could play for them for a tournament or something would reach out on DM through Instagram and like that's how they found me. So without posting or uploading whatever through social media, like I'm not sure where I would be because that's how they reached out to me and that's what our communication was at the time.
And so now I want to get into your beginning, your upcoming, whenever you first fell in love with the sport. At what age did you start playing sports or started getting into those activities?
So I started playing basketball. I played basketball all my life. I started in kindergarten, so I was 5. I played basketball from kindergarten to high school. I started flag in 7th grade, and it wasn't like serious at all. Like me and my friends like down the block were like, "You want to join like a flag league?" And we were like, "Sure." Like we didn't take it serious, and there was no practice. We just showed up to the games and we looked a mess, but like we had fun. And then through the years doing both of it through like 7th grade to high school, um it was just like handling both of them at the same time. Again, like flag was kind of just like pushed to the side. It was more basketball, practice, tournaments all the time. And then around like freshman to like junior year, that's when I was like really getting into it, like loving the game so much that me and my travel team would go to so many tournaments, like all across the country, everywhere. And then it got to around like junior year where we were looking at what colleges we like wanted to go to, and I was looking at basketball schools first, and like in the back of my mind, I was always like, I still want to play flag. Like if I play basketball for like a D2 school, like flag's gonna be out of the picture. So eventually, when I was like thinking about it more and more, I kind of just started pushing myself more towards the flag football schools. And that's what I knew like I really wanted to just pursue flag because it was just there was just something about like quitting at that time and putting basketball first. It wasn't like settling with me. So yeah, around junior year, we were looking at different flag schools, and then by senior year, I was still playing basketball, but I was totally just like locked into flag. Like I was missing a bunch of basketball for flag, and yeah, from senior year on, I was really just like flag's it. Like I'm definitely gonna just keep doing flag.
And that's whenever flag just ended up being the sport. Oh, sorry, ended up being the sport for you. And but how hard did you find it? Because like you said, you started playing basketball when you were 5 years old. How hard was it to you to like kind of put that one aside and start going to flag football, or did you not find it hard at all?
At first, it was like kind of just more like sad because I put so much work into basketball and just so many memories, and like you're gonna put so much time to something and just like, not really give it up, but yeah, give it up. And um but after I got through that little patch of just like thinking it over, like, oh, I'm gonna lose basketball, it just went away. Like flag really just took over. I really loved the game. So it was kind of easy. Like you realize that basketball had to come to an end when I found something else that I loved more. So
Mm. And who were some people that contributed to you falling in love with either basketball and flag football?
well, I had a great coaching staff from my travel football team, which was Mike Cole, Jason Canales, Anthony. Like they all are part of the SIG. Well, now everyone's kind of in different teams, but at the time we were all part of the SIG community, and they really just like pushed me to come to each and every practice, every training, and they were just there for me all the time, like on and off the field. And it was more like a family thing. Like when we weren't playing football, they were always checking in, just making sure I was okay, like mentally, physically. It was just like a great atmosphere that it made me feel like very like at home, like welcomed, like no matter what, all the time.
Yeah, it made you feel like you had a family around you the whole time, even whenever you were away from your family, you had them by your side also.
Yeah, for sure.
And so, were in your family, is sports a huge thing in your family? Are you the only child, or do you have brothers or sisters?
I have an older brother and an older sister, but they don't play any sports, which is crazy because I started at such like a young age, and that's all I knew was sports. But they are into like bands. So they were always like doing stuff like that. Like my sister is a teacher now, my brother's a cop. Like we all just kind of did our different things, and this was my thing.
Did you ever get into some band? Did you ever play any band instruments?
Yeah, I played the saxophone. I wasn't good. I was really bad, but I just did it.
Sorry, I did band for a while too. But I'd like to say I was pretty decent. I was a pretty decent trumpet player, so I like to throw that out as much as I can.
Hey, it's something.
And
It's
so,
cool.
hey, yeah, I mean, at during football season, I'd be playing the games, and then during halftime, I'd go march with them, and then I'd go back into the locker room and get ready for the second half of football games. And it was fun, but at the same time, it was like, all right, maybe it's a little too much.
That's cool. Not many people could say they do that. That's for sure. That's crazy.
Yeah, but it was. Hey, I had a blast doing it. It was very fun.
Yeah, I bet.
And so, growing up, did a lot of your family did they encourage you to play sports or get into some other sports?
They kind of just they're all people who just supported me like no matter what I wanted to do. Like when I was younger, I would like remember saying I want to play basketball, so I played basketball. And then a long time I was like I want to play softball. I played softball for like a season. That wasn't it. But like each and every time I wanted to do something different, I was just constantly supported. So it was really just what I wanted to do as long as it's like a positive impact on me. Like, I was never
Mhm.
really turned down in any type of way.
And I wanted to talk about your time in high school. I mean, from what I saw and what they have in your bio, you were a 2022 New York City champion, a 2022 Offensive Player of the Year, 2023 MVP, and you were also recognized as one of the most outstanding senior student athletes out of all the New York City high schools. W- And you got the PSAL Wingate Award, which is what that award's called. Throughout your high school career, what are some moments that really stuck out for you that really stick with you to this day?
There's like a bunch. Like high school was crazy. Like with all those accomplishments, there was so much behind it. Like we had COVID year that delayed so much. So it was like all of that was kind of just smushed into junior and senior year. I had a great coach, Joe Sarno and Andrew Spinelli. They were the greatest people ever. They always encouraged me to everything. It was just like each game they had full trust in me. And like I said, we had COVID, so basically my junior year was like my freshman year. And it was just like they would run plays, and one I remember one of the plays was like, okay, they're gonna snap the ball, everyone stand on the line, Jess, go beat the girl. Like that was the type of trust my coach had in me that I was doing one-on-ones in the middle of my game. Like stuff like that is just very memorable because it means a lot when someone like trusts you and you put in the work to be in a position like that where you need to score, like, okay, Jess could score. Like, stuff like that. And a very memorable moment was my city championship. That was 2022, 2023. Yeah, it was 2022. And that game was just incredible. It was like a back and forth game, and I remember in the beginning of the game I was super off. I don't know what was going on. Maybe I was in my head, but my coach kept putting me on the field, putting me in positions where I needed to make like the big play. And after a while, like I was getting back into it, and it really just showed me like he trusted me so much. And I scored and scored again. We won, and it was just like such a great feeling. Like that moment was just like I loved it. I think about it all the time, even like now.
Yeah, because being able to be the one that to get your number called from the coach, like, hey, we need this play. We got to go to, who we got to go to. And
Hmm.
so being able to someone having that trust in you as an athlete, I bet that means the world knowing that they depend on you to go out there and make a big play for them.
Yeah, it was great.
And so I wanted to talk because you mentioned it. When was COVID for you? What year was that for you?
COVID was my sophomore year,
It was your
but
sophomore year?
the end of freshman year to my full sophomore year. Yeah.
Okay, that's when it was. Okay, because COVID was, yeah, it was the end of my junior year and then went into my senior year.
Hmm.
And so how was it there where you're from? How did they handle that COVID time? How was the policies? How was it as a student and as a student athlete?
Uh, well, in the beginning, when it all started, freshman year, schools cut off all of that, and then going into sophomore year, that was like we did school online, and then all fall sports were canceled, and which is basketball season. So then spring came around, and they allowed us to play like a few games. Like you could pick, like which sport you're gonna do. So I had to pick between flag or basketball. I picked basketball my sophomore year, and that's why I started junior year for flag for high
Yeah.
school, and it was just like off, like nothing like felt right. It was super like weird vibes. And then going into junior year, they still had like all that protocol, so you needed to like get the shot to play, like the vaccines to play. You needed to wear a mask while playing. It's kind of crazy. Being a hot gym, being everywhere with a mask. It was just like a lot, but we did it. It was worth it,
You
guys.
still able to get it done. You're still out there playing games. That's it.
Yeah.
And so what was in your head during that time? Was it just like did you find it hard during that time or how was it for you?
Um, it was just confusing because it all happened so quick. It's like we got the call like, oh, we are off from school, and the next thing you know, you're not going to school till a year and a half later. And then even like as a young kid, I would always do a bunch of trainings like about every single day. So going from training every single day, like a scheduled practice every single day to just doing things on my own was obviously a huge change. But um, my travel coaches for SIG, they put together a bunch of Zoom calls all the time. So we would be like working out in our basements on Zoom with our cameras on, making sure we're doing every workout, staying fit and all of that. It was kind of crazy, kind of funny, but we did what we needed to do. Like that's the most we could do when we did it. So
Mhm. And then that 2020 year was whenever you started getting out there, posting the videos and everything. And was that like, I'm trying to think, was that during the COVID or was that before COVID? That was during COVID.
I think maybe it was probably during COVID, yeah.
Yeah.
Like right after. I remember like a
Mhm.
picture of me with a mask on in my posts. So I don't know. It's somewhere around that time, but that's like when I started posting, yeah.
Yeah, and so and this travel team, how important did you find it during your time playing?
SIG was really like everything. Like the way I started playing travel was because um the coaches from SIG came to one of my local league games that I told you like me and my friend just decided to play.
Mhm.
And he like came up to me, my mom, Michael Colt, and was like, "Oh, I have a travel team. Can just play?" And I said yes. And like he really like took me from like a joking league that like I was just trying to have fun and stay active to a whole new world. Like if that didn't happen, I probably would not be playing flag like at all. I probably would have just did a season or two and just ended it. And then if you know about SIG, you know it's like a big community. It like there is so many of us, like from ages 8U to 18U. Now we have women's, and there's just we're all around the country. We're all best friends. Like it's really everything.
Yes, that's what I have noticed about this flag football community. It is huge and they all support each other. So many people know other people from across the country and it has been crazy this little bit that I've started looking into it. And that brings me to one of my next things I want to talk about. You played in a bunch of or in a few NFL flag football events.
Mhm.
How were those events? How was participating in those like?
Those were super fun all the time. Just traveling, being there. The experience was crazy because you get to see all the teams from all over the country. You make friends, and then they're all like, there's just so much talent. They're surrounded by talent. You're surrounded by nice girls, and it's just really fun playing against each other and being away. So it's like a little vacation, have fun, see your friends. Like it's really just it was fun. And the most recent one was a few weeks ago for the 18U. That was the highest
Yeah.
division. But last year, me and my team actually won, and that experience was super great. It was in Ohio, and we like signed a ball after we won, and now it's in the Hall of Fame. And a bunch of my coaches from Warner and my college went into the Hall of Fame to just check out like the museum and stuff. And he sent me a picture, was like, "Oh, Jess, like I see your name." Like just stuff like that's like super cool. And it's coming from the NFL Flag Championships because we won. And that whole thing was just super crazy. It was so fun. Like I really loved that.
And now thinking of it, like now that you say that, having a football with your name on it in Ohio, in Canton, Ohio, what is that feeling like? Just thinking about it now.
It's just like insane. Like who would have known like that would even be a thing? Like I
Mhm.
not me. Like I really didn't think anything would like be like this at all. Like it's really crazy. Like anyone could just go in there and see like me and my whole entire team's name written on a ball because we're good at flag football. Like it's super cool.
And what has really just this opportunity to play flag football been like? Because a lot of people just only see actual football. We're not saying that y'all are actual football, but they see elite the NFL's college football, this and that. But they don't really think about flag football, and they don't really think about the the females getting into it now. What is that feeling like now having the opportunity to showcase to people like, hey, we can play too. We can get out here and we can get active also.
It's really like a different experience because you get people of like saying all different kinds of things. Like it's not real flag football. I mean, it's not real football. It's not like that's just like a girly sport, whatever, all that stuff. But then you have people who will really support it, like real athletes who see that flag football and football are two different sports and that like we are like girls working to be good at our sport. And I think it's definitely getting a lot more recognition as the time's going on. The NFL teams are like sponsoring a lot of stuff. Um, there's like a bunch of like co-ed tournaments and stuff, and like everybody like acknowledges like good football. Like where I'm from, we do co-ed tournaments, and the guys and the girls are always playing together, and nothing's like, oh, like she's the girl. It's like the guys are guarding the girls. Like we recognize each other like being talented, and I really feel like it's everyone's gonna see that soon, and I think that's a great thing because it's been taking a while, but it's on the way.
Yeah, it's getting out there on the map and it's getting some major exposure. I mean, now in 2028, flag football is in the Olympics.
Hmm.
So, I mean, this is huge stuff that's going on for the flag football community. And you mentioned the league that's there where you're from, the from whenever I saw the GVOC flag football.
Hmm.
And what have those tournaments been like? What has competing in those been like?
Um, It's super fun. That's like the main word for it. It's fun because we're all there together, like laughing, playing, eating some food.
Mm.
Like it's like really just like friends and family type of thing. And the competition wise, we all know each other and we're all at different levels, but we still just come together and just know it's just about the game. Like there's no different like oh he's a guy like there's a girl like we just play and playing against the guys really help you as a girl because they're bigger, stronger, faster, and it just like ups your game because if you could play against a 6'5" like 200-pound guy, I'm sure we could put some work on the girl, like like it really just gets you better as a female playing against the guys. And the whole tournament is like ran greatly, like everything's organized and it's always just an event to go to.
And I just thought about this right now. I don't know why I didn't ask you a little earlier. Probably one of the first questions I should ask. Whenever you first started playing flag football, were did you feel that like, hey, I'm pretty good at this, or did it take you a while to start getting used to playing?
When I first started playing, I don't even think I was really like that good. I started playing QB. I played QB for like a good 2 years before I became like a receiver. And like I said, I kind of just did it for fun. So I wasn't really thinking I was like super good until maybe like a couple years went by after a bunch of training and practice, definitely with my travel team. But up until like a few years ago, I started like being more focused and like realizing a potential I had. So
And which position do you find more fun, the receiver or quarterback position?
definitely receiver. Quarterback was not, I could be there for option, but definitely receiver. I definitely feel more confident and it's more fun for me.
And so you mentioned earlier that whenever you started looking for universities and started looking at colleges, that slowly you started moving over to looking for flag football universities that you could go to and try it and try to play for. What was that time like? Take me through that recruiting process and through that period for you.
The first part of it was there was like Instagrams they would make. So each college, there was only really a few that were like bigger, that wasn't like 2-year colleges or something like that. And I was looking more for like a 4-year school. So I would go on their Instagram, see what they were about, and then either they had reached out to me already, or I would go and reach out to them, and there would be like a questionnaire in their bio, and it's kind of just getting to know like me as a player. And then that followed up with like a bunch of Zoom calls, like every other day, just talking to all these coaches, even like some schools I didn't want to go to, just to see how things really went. And then there were some showcases that some of the coaches would come to, and we would meet the coaches in person and just like exchange like information and stuff, like so we could get on a phone call instead. And yeah, that's really like the start of it. And then I that's how I met my coach now at Warner, Coach Mims. I was at a combine and I came right I did not want to go at all to this combine. I came right from my basketball practice in the morning. My mom just told me I should go. My friends were going. I was like, "Okay, I'm just gonna go." And he really liked me and we were talking and we were DMing after that saying like when my next tournament would be so he could come out and watch and all of that. And then really from that combine on, I was very interested in Warner, but my options were still open. But by the end, Coach Mims made it very easy to decide like I should be at Warner.
And when was it that you decided, hey, Warner's the place for me?
It was like in the beginning of senior year, I really like knew, but I didn't really like say that to anyone. I was still talking to the
Mhm.
coaches, but like in my mind, I just knew I was gonna commit to Warner. And then around like May, I actually commit. So I knew for a while before I actually like said, yeah, I'm gonna go to Warner in Florida, by the way, everyone, like, you know.
You're holding it in, just waiting. Hey, okay, guys, yeah, I've been knowing this for the past 8 months.
Yeah, that's really how it was.
And so you go ahead. How did you picture your time being at Warner compared to how it actually is this year that you've been there?
Um, I honestly like I was ready for like a totally new beginning because it was a small school in Florida, a Christian university, and which was so like not in my plans, but then it was. So I was just I didn't know what to like look forward to or anything like that. But I did have a teammate of mine go there the year before me. So she was telling me a little bit about it before I like did a Zoom call or like an online tour or anything like that. And all she said was great things about it. All the girls loved each other. Coach Mims, I already knew him, but she would always say like he's a good coach, all of that. The school program was great. So that's how I was looking into it. And then being at Warner, it was really just like I couldn't ask for anything better. Like I wouldn't transfer. I don't think I would change any of my decisions. Like I genuinely love Warner a lot, and I can't wait for my season this year.
And was there a huge adjustment period playing wise compared from the high school and the tournaments you were in to playing at now the level that you're playing at?
Um, in high school, like the my role as a player, like I said before, it was very like I was the one to do everything. It was a 7v7 format, and then but our travel was 5v5, which I was way
Mhm.
more used to, like no matter that I played 7v7 in high school. And then getting to Warner, it was 7v7, bigger field, all of that. And I kind of just try my best all the time and I made that role for myself. I was like a starter on offense and defense and from that moment on it just never changed. And yeah, Coach Mims gave me a really good role like on the team and he knows I work very hard to keep that role. So it wasn't really a huge change, nothing like I'm not used to, anything I was like disappointed in. It was like where I think I should be at.
And what's the culture like there at Warner that you love and that really brought you into or feeling like you're part of that Warner football team?
It's everyone really just like supports each other and it's a great thing. Like we're all like I said, we're all friends. Like we hang out besides football. We enjoy each other besides football. And that's like the team aspect of it. Like Warner as a whole, it being like a Christian college, religion's like a big part in it. So that kind of just feeds off into every single person about like faith and how we all are just like one. Like we are always like uplifting each other. And it being a Christian college, like it definitely changed like how I was as a person. So everyone around me just always uplifted me and like using their faith as well. And that changed me as a person to be that person for them as well. So it's just a whole big family, whether you play flag, football, soccer, whatever it is, or your teacher, like we're all just one.
And this past season, incredible numbers. You had over 100 receptions. You had over 1,000 receiving yards. You had 22 uh, touchdowns. You won the Sun Offensive Player of the Year. What really clicked this year? Like, what was that feeling like looking back now? Like, oh my gosh, I really had that season.
Yeah, like those numbers are crazy and it doesn't even feel like that. Like I was really just like playing my game. Like I said, my coach put me in like a good spot where he trusts me and I just like execute. I we work hard at practice. It's practice every day. It's long practice and we're just out there doing what we need to do at practice and we showed up in the game, executed exactly how it should have been. And although like we didn't really come through at nationals how we wanted to, like our season this year was very different. Like it was very different from preseason or just like a past year. Like we all felt very more like connected with chemistry and it showed a lot. And we did what we needed to do in big moments.
Mm.
So
And did you have a game or a time where you just right after a play or something, you're like, dang, like, yeah, I've arrived finally. Like this is what it is. Have you had a moment like that?
yeah, yeah, there was a game, we were at home and I had like I think I had 4 touchdowns and a pick. And we were just going, like we were on a roll. Like there was no stopping us. It didn't matter who you put in front of us, who you put in front of my QB, who you put in front of me. Like we were just going. We called the play, we scored on the play. Next, like same thing. If it wasn't me, it was probably my other receivers too. Like we ran it up and we just did what we needed to do, and that was a great day.
Yeah, I remember looking at your stats. You had a period where you went like 10 catches, 13, 14 catches for I think the lowest total was probably 134 yards was the lowest. And like that must have been a crazy stretch. In that stretch, you did have that 4 touchdown game.
Hmm. Yeah, that was a great time. I actually had a ankle injury during that, but I pulled through.
Dude, you pulled through and still played, I mean, amazing. So it just the ankle injury didn't matter that much.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah,
And
but
so what is your mindset whenever you go onto the field each game or each practice? What's the mindset that you have each time?
my mindset during practice is just like I'm not gonna get better unless I put in my full efforts. Like I know nobody else is gonna make me better. It's just all on me. So if I don't give 100%, I'm not gonna get anywhere where I need to be. During games, I really just I get very like stressed out before games, but when I'm in games, like I'm really like locked in. I don't think about anything at all. I just play. If I mess up, like I talk myself through just moving on to the next play rather than being upset about what just happened or anything like that. And it comes from being just supported by my teammates because if I do mess up, there's no it's no biggie. I'm just gonna get back and do what I need to do. So that's really just my mindset. Just move on, do what I need to do.
And in in your career so far playing, have you had some like pre-game rituals that you like to do or any superstitions that you have or do you have anything?
Well, of course, I pray, of course, but before all that, I eat candy. I need something sour, preferably like a sour strip, something like that. I always eat candy before I play. That's been a thing since I don't remember when it wasn't a thing. So yeah.
Are you a big Skittles fan?
Skittles? Sour Skittles, yeah.
Oh, you see, the thing is, sour Skittles are my least favorite. I love Skittles so much. When I played, I had to have Skittles on the sideline with me. I had our water boy or water girl. They had a pack of Skittles whenever I was playing on the sidelines. But sour Skittles, I think are the worst. I think those are by far the worst.
That's crazy. No. You have to get something to like pump you up a little bit. Like Skittles are cool and all, but you know.
I like. I like to get me a berry, the berry kind, and that those are my favorite. Or tropical, either one.
Yeah, those are pretty good. Why?
And so, how do you mentally stay strong? During these, if you go through any rough patches, or like you said, you had that ankle injury, but you're still out there performing. How mm, how do you deal with those situations?
It's more just like I was definitely in like a rough patch before where I was so overwhelmed at everything. Like it was sports, sports, sports. And what got me out of that was just like realizing that like although I was an athlete all my life, like I'm more than an athlete. And if I'm hurting, I need to stop. If I'm putting myself too much into field work or practice or this that and I'm just consuming myself with it, it's not gonna go well that way. So the separation between being just a regular human student and being an athlete, there's a line and you need to find it at some point and that will help you instead of consuming yourself just sports or sports because you're not just an athlete at the end of the day.
And what is it whenever you're not on the field playing? What is it that you're doing? What is it that people can find you out there doing?
um I'm really with my friends a lot, just like we do like things like very like sporadically. Like the other day, I saw a TikTok and it was like Hershey, Hershey Park, and
Yeah.
like I wanted to make a chocolate bar, so like we went and did that. Like at the moment, like we just do things randomly, and there's not really like a side hobby I have, but I just have my friends and we just find fun things to do. We just do them. I'm with my family a lot,
Mhm.
so
Right now, are you back at home, or are you there at Warner?
I'm at home in New York. Yeah, I go back to Warner in like I go back September. No, not September. August 14th.
Okay, so y'all report soon and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so the other thing I wanted to ask, has there been a difference that you've noticed with food wise? How has the food been compared from New York to Florida? How has that been?
New York is the best with food. That's like I've been so appreciative of my New York food because when I go to Florida, you're not getting a good slice of pizza. If you want a bagel, you're gonna be let down. You know, it's disappointing, but it's not horrible. I've been to places that are like, can't really find good food. No, Florida's really not that bad, but like New York food is like sometimes what I crave, and it does not get fulfilled in Florida.
There's nothing close. There's nothing like that. I guarantee the pizza part is very true.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
You try out. Is there a Waterburger close to where you're at? Have you tried out a Waterburger down there at Warner?
Yeah, I had Whataburger. It was like decent.
Decent. You see that? I'm a Texas boy. Waterbury all day, every day. That's the best
Yeah.
fast food out there. What fast food, if you had a fast food choice, what would yours be?
Here, well, all the time McDonald's. I love McDonald's. That's my thing. But in Florida, I had Culver's. And
Culver's?
yeah, we don't have that here, but it's really good. Every time I'm in Florida and I want fast food and I don't want McDonald's, I want Culver's. Super good.
I'm trying to think. I know I've heard of Culver's. What is it? What do they have there?
It's just like the basics, like burger, nuggets, fries. And they have like shakes and stuff that are like specialty. But
Have you had In and Out?
yeah, I had that in Las Vegas, I think, though.
And what are your thoughts on In and Out? Because everybody always says In and Out's better than Whataburger. What?
I think they're in like the same range.
They're both in the same range there.
Yeah, just like it's good, but it's not like, oh, I want In-N-Out. I want Whataburger.
I think that's crazy. But but we'll go ahead. I want to get back to the field, or to what you're doing at your university. What are you studying there at Warner?
I'm studying physical education.
And what are your plans with them? How's that going?
It's going well. We're starting like interning this semester coming up, which is exciting
Mhm.
because there's a bunch of schools around that we're gonna go to all together. And then hopefully after that I could start my journey and I would like to be a health teacher as well as phys ed and then along that like get into coaching and just that whole aspect of it.
And so, a question that I have, and I probably should ask more people this: if there's a player, any player that you could think of that you could line up against, they're on defense, you're on offense. Who's that one player that you're choosing to line up against?
Uh,
Or am I putting you on the spot with that question?
I don't even know. Like to play against me?
Yeah. Who would
I
you like to see on the opposite side?
had to pick somebody good. Maybe like Saquon. No,
You know Coach Saquon, the quadzilla.
yeah. I always loved him, so you I don't know. He would probably cook me, but like I just to be near him. Show me some things.
And so the other thing that I wanted to ask, whenever you're studying, trying to get better, trying to watch film, what is it that you're watching? Are you watching other people trying to see what they're doing that you can add to your game, or how's that?
Yeah, I definitely watch like a lot of college football. Like I'm not so like invested in a certain team or player, but I just watching it definitely helps a lot because the guys have technique like I'm talking about like college football and the guys definitely have like technique that like we don't really like have yet. Like we're learning it, but that's something they do all the time, practice games and just watching it like them doing over and over again definitely helps. And just like even on Instagram scrolling, there's like lots of like training accounts which shows footwork, route running, all of that. I'm always swiping through that, watching that, and I have a bunch of my friends over here who go to college with me. We're always at the fields using some of those drills we see and all of that. So that definitely
Testing
helps.
things out.
Yeah.
And is there a certain college team you find yourself watching more than maybe some others?
Um, my friend on my Warner team, Catherine, or my QB actually, she's always has Georgia on. So stuck watching Georgia. She's from Georgia, so
So you gotta watch Georgia and support Georgia with her.
yeah, I mean, I'm for it, I guess.
And so now we're kind of nearing the end. What's something that people really misunderstand about flag football and you as an athlete?
Well, people misunderstand about flag football. Like I said in the beginning, it's a different game from football. It's a whole separate technique, style, all of that. And once people find the difference between the two, it's gonna be easier for people to realize like what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it. And um what people misunderstand about me is maybe I'm just gonna do what I need to do all the time. Doesn't matter who is in front of me, who's watching me. Like I'm going to get the job done and do 100%, and it doesn't really matter what the circumstances are. I'm just going to do it.
You're gonna be you and you're gonna do you.
Yep, that's for
And
sure.
so one of the things I wanted to ask, and I again I probably should have asked earlier because this is bringing up like probably something basic. You mentioned that there are 5v5s and 7v7s.
Mhm.
I'm only used to having 7-on-7. What is the difference and why do they have 5v5 or over 7v7?
To be honest, I don't know why it's like different, but fives are smaller fields.
Mhm.
The one thing's different is the rush. At the fives format, the rush is 7 yards back, could after the snap they could go. There's no contact of any sort like on the line or blocking. Sevens, it's the blocker and the rusher up on the 1 yard line and the QB's back. Like, there's like something on the line. That's that difference. And even my local league here is 6v6. Like, there's a bunch of different formats. And for that one, it's like you run, the rusher runs after 4 seconds.
Oh, they had to have a timer on them.
Yeah, like the ref will like count out like 1, 2, like
Hmm.
that, and then they go. So it's really there's a bunch of different formats, but sevens is definitely like the most popular, and fives is more of a thing that is getting pushed away, I feel like. So
And which one have you really played in the most?
now I'm gonna say, well, maybe now I'm gonna say it's even, but growing up, definitely fives. It was all fives because tournaments.
And so now that you've made it to the collegiate level and you've already made some noise yourself on this stage, what are some advice or tips that you'd like to give to some of the younger generations that are going to continue playing and helping grow the sport?
I would definitely say that consistency is key. Like, you won't really succeed unless you're consistent in anything, but with flag, it's easy to get distracted by lots of things. So as long as you stay consistent and are aware of what you want, like, you will get it as long as you're staying on track. And like I said before, like, there's a line between being an athlete and just being yourself. And it's important to not be in your head all the time saying you need to do something or just putting so much pressure on yourself, because that's not fair to you, like mentally and physically. So you definitely remind yourself that you're more than an athlete and to stay consistent.
And last one that I have for you, when it's all said and done at your time there at Warner, what would you like to be remembered as?
I would definitely like to be remembered as somebody who just pushed everyone to be the best they could be, just so they could reach their full potential. Like, I definitely want to be someone who someone could be like, oh, like, Jess was there for me when I needed support. Jess was there for me when I didn't want to do something, but she pushed me to do something. Like, just that type of person, just to motivate and uplift somebody.
All right, and that's all I have. Jessica, thank you so much for joining. It means a lot. Like I said, you are, oh my gosh, my voice. Like I said, you are the first flag football athlete I've had. So thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, off the clock, never needed no wristwatch. Toast up, cheers to life, but this ain't no pit stop. Ayy, my words don't get you to the top. Speak life into the mic like Mike at 90, pass me the rock. The words will touch thousands on the block, without a doubt, but she's a reassurance on me, we lie. Ayy, off the clock, baby, but we tuned in, dialed in. Feel like cat, how we always winning, man.